Welcome to Movie Damage, and I'm John, your host, and we're so glad you decided to make us part of your day. And this is going to be the spoilers review for Batman vs Superman. So straight up, if you have not seen this movie, do not watch this review. It will have some serious spoilers. I will be talking a lot about some of the stuff that happened in this movie, so you have been warned. But if you're still here and you want to know what my opinions are on the movie after you've seen it, let's get on with this. Okay, Batman vs Superman. This is by far one of my favourite Batman movies and Superman movies to date. It really is, and this is controversial. I mean, I've just been looking up. Rotten Tomatoes has given this 30% for their reviewers, but then when you look at the audience reviews, it's at 76%. IMDb has pretty much done the exact same. They're at about 76%. So there is very, very different views on this movie from beginning to end. Now, my personal view is that Batman, the Batflick, was fantastic in this movie. The way they brought in a lot of his backstories with the dead Robin, the way so many people died in Metropolis. This changed Batman. This was not the Batman from before. When the Superman thing happened in Man of Steel, this changed Batman. He changed a lot of his rules. It was basic. You can see that this was like his 9/11, and he ends up making decisions which go almost contradictory to his very nature, to the man that he has made himself. This terrible thing then happens in Metropolis. People he knows dies horrifically. He is witness. He is there. He sees the ships destroying the buildings. He sees Superman destroying buildings in the fight. He was there. He was on ground zero, and this changed Superman. Up to this point, he has been fighting criminals. He has been fighting low dirtbags, and all of a sudden, there is a threat that has come to this world, which is bigger than him and is bigger than anybody that he has ever taken on. And this event changed him. Like many other people, it changed him. Now, Superman. We've got this character who is trying desperately to be part of this world, this earth. He wants to be one of us, and he's doing the best he can. He's saving people left, right and centre, and yet he's doing the best he can, and he's been criticised for it. People are asking, do we need a Superman? Do we need this man to actually be here to fix our problems? And what happens if he decides he doesn't just want to be part of fixing the problem, he wants to fix every problem and decides, I will rule you and there's nothing you can do about it. And this plot plays out beautifully. It inspires Batman. If there's even a possibility that Superman could become the dictator, he has to stop him. And this is also a similar drive for Lex Luthor, though his way of going about it is sinister. It is evil. You can tell he's in league with Darkseid somehow. As I said, I think that's from when he's in the ship and he's downloading all the information. I think he gets a lot of stuff about Darkseid, but I think he knows about Darkseid before then as well. He is obsessed with destroying either Batman or Superman. He knows he has to get rid of these two characters, and what's the best way to do that? Set them up in a fight. And he sets these two up. But setting up in the fight is only part of his plan. The fight is just to keep him busy while he gets something else done over here. It's just a distraction. I really liked how he was doing that. I thought that his portrayal of this, he was insane. Lex Luthor in this movie, Jesse Eisenberg, is insane. He is you can see that he's very much based on a Zuckerberg sort of character, but at the same token, his rationality that he will be the one to save the world. And that's what Lex wants to do. That's his motivation. He wants to be the one who saves the world from this tyrant that is Superman, or this potential tyrant. And I thought that was brilliant. I thought I was going to hate Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal as Lex Luthor, but by the end of the movie, I was thinking, here is a character that has grown. He's gone into a point. I didn't like him still, but I'm not supposed to like Lex Luthor. I'm supposed to find him evil. and what he's willing to kill anybody to do his goals. Superman. Here is a man who is being set up by Lex Luthor and by powers around him. He's trying his best. Here's this Batman character who is brutally beating people up. He's breaking the law, and nobody cares about this Batman. Even Perry White says in one role, nobody cares about your fight with Batman. Nobody cares about Batman. That's a crime wave in Gotham City. Who cares about that? That's a little issue. That's a non-event. But whether the world is sick and tired of Superman, here is the real news. And he's saying this to Clark Kent, and Clark Kent, he is Superman. He's doing the best he can, and even his very friends are turning around and saying, do we really need this Superman? So personally for me, I thought that a lot of the actual development in this movie was really, really well done. I really liked how, as I said, the fight between Batman and Superman is fantastic. It really is. And I liked how they gave a definitive winner in this fight. And let's face the facts, Batman wins the fight. Let's not mince words. He beats Superman, and he is ready. He's about to kill Superman. And then the little Martha thing comes into it. And when I was watching the movie, I was thinking, well, so what? Well, his mum was called Martha. Who cares about this? But then I started to think more about it. It's like Batman realized that this Superman had a family. He was raised on Earth. There was people who genuinely loved him. But more importantly, there's people that Superman loved. And for this, like, it was so quick, and when it happens, you're just thinking, oh, come on, that's a bit forced. But then as you think about it more, you're starting to realise it was the moment that Batman realised that here was Superman, here was this so-called greatest enemy that he could ever have, and he had a family. He had loved ones. People honestly cared about it, and as I said, more importantly, he cared about them. Batman's about to kill him, and all he can think of is save my mother. That is such an honest thing. It was, and for Batman, it was so confronting, this moment that, his mother was called Martha, which I think was the ultimate catalyst. But there was so much more to that scene. And that's what I liked about Zack Snyder's movie. There were so many scenes that when you actually look at it, it was more multi-layered than it came across. Now, I will admit, I think that because half an hour has been cut from this movie, I think it showed. A lot of the plots and storylines were only half developed. Personally, myself, I don't think they needed the African incident that happened in the beginning. I think that they could have just played with the government's issue with the destruction of Metropolis. I think that could have been, everything in that part could have just been cut and condensed into, okay, Metropolis has been destroyed and we've got a problem, we've got to deal with Superman. But they brought this extra thing in saying, oh no, more damage is happening, which was, maybe in the special edition I'll appreciate that more. The fight between, when everybody gets together, I really enjoyed. I loved the fight scene between Doomsday and the birth of this Justice League, these three people going at it, taking on this monster that Lex Luthor had created. And to me, at the beginning, Doomsday looked a bit funny, but by the end, he was evolving. If you looked at the comic book character, he evolves. Every time you damage him, you destroy him, he evolves greater. He becomes an even more powerful adversary. And this was actually directly put into the movie. I thought that was very clever. I mean, there's a scene where Wonder Woman cuts his arm off, and instead this big rock blade comes onto his arm instead. It's like, well, you're not going to cut that arm off again, are you? They hit him with a nuclear bomb, so he gets this nuclear fusion thing going on. Well, we can't hit him with a nuclear bomb again, it'll get more powerful. Superman smashes him into the ground, so he gets all these rocks build upon him. He was evolving during the movie, and these superheroes had to really join together to beat him. And it came at a cost. It came at the cost of Superman. the death of Superman. He dies in this movie. It was directly from the comic almost. I was watching it thinking, wow, that was ballsy. I didn't think they'd go that direction, but he did. But Superman dies, and by the way, going to people's complaints of saying, well, oh, they should have left Superman dead and all. What, are you kidding me? They're making a Justice League movie coming up next. A Justice League movie without Superman? What are you talking about? I mean, that's the most silly thing I've ever heard. You can't make Justice League without Superman. He's one of the pivotal points. He is one of the big three. In fact, he's the biggest out of the three. Now, Batman, I like him more, but I've got to say, Superman is the Justice League. How can you have a Justice League movie without Superman? So come on, don't be silly. Of course he was going to come back at the end. And by the way, I love that end scene, which was directly taken from the comic, The Dark Knight Returns. With having the funeral, and then you just hear this boom, and then closes up, and it gets close to the rock start, boom, boom. That was directly from The Dark Knight Returns. I thought that was brilliant. Like the way they've taken. I can appreciate Zack Snyder. He is a fan of Batman. He is a fan of Superman. He's a fan of woman. He loves these characters, and it shows in the movie that he made. Now, I know a lot of people are going to complain and say it was jarring, it didn't make any sense. Well, and I think that a few of the scenes, it wouldn't have made sense because it only made sense to people who knew the comics in a lot of ways. But then there was other scenes where it was just subtly done. It was like the painting that in Lex's room with the demons at the bottom and the angels at the top, and by the end he flipped that over. I mean, that was a direct reference to Darkseid. Let's face back, that was a direct reference to Darkseid. The vision where Batman that has because of the Flash intervention, which personally I thought that was just thrown in. It seemed a bit. I think it was needed, but it could have had just a little bit of a setup. But we'll leave that. Here's Batman, and it was directly taken out of Injustice: Gods Amongst Us. I thought it was fantastic. Here is this Batman who's literally killing people, and but he's doing it for the right reason. The world is in destruction. And this vision comes, it says, we've got to change things, otherwise this is going to end up really bad. Now, as I said, that's a direct reference, that whole scene from Injustice: Gods Amongst Us. I thought that was really clever, I thought it was brilliant, great setup, and it also helped build for what is coming, this terrible evil which is obviously coming to Earth, and unless the Justice League bands together, mankind is going to be destroyed. And I really appreciated that. So, as I said, this movie does have problems, and I can understand where a lot of people are coming from. I mean, Batman kills a lot of people in this movie, and as I said, the 9/11 event that happens to him in the beginning of this movie, I think is the leading contributor to why he is now this grizzled man. He is willing to kill now. The destruction of Metropolis has changed him. It's like, I think that was brilliant how they've done that. Batman is a changed man. This terrible event made him bitter. It made him angry. But by the end of the movie, you can actually see that, okay, wait just a sec. Batman knows he's made a mistake. It's one thing I've always liked about the Batman character. Batman makes mistakes. And I like how Zack Snyder's gone, no, Batman's making some big mistakes here. And he brings it all together at the end, and Batman starts to realise, Superman wasn't my enemy, I was tricked, I'm going down the wrong path. And he realises he needs these people around him to censor him again. He needs his Bat family. So I did really like that. But as I said, this is a very long spoilers review. Let us know what you think in the comments. I know that a lot of people are either going to hate this movie, and a lot of people are going to find it, oh my goodness, this is great. But let us know what you think. Press like or subscribe. and until next time, peace out.